I got into real estate to leave my husband.
Welcome. Today we have a special message, and our message is on resilience. And what we're going to teach you today is that real resilience requires honesty. My guest today is Erica Diaz with the Erica Diaz team. And in about 30 seconds, it'll take about 30 seconds for you to know and realize that Erica speaks with nothing but honesty.
Absolutely.
So, resilience.
Yes.
How do you relate to resilience?
Well, I think anybody that is successful in real estate has to be resilient because there is curveballs thrown all day, every day in our industry. And it's funny because I think so many people think, oh, your job's so easy. I want to do that. I want to get my real estate license. You've got 4 kids. It's so easy. You make it look so good. But if you're not resilient and you can't roll with the punches and the highs and the lows, I'm not sure this is the industry for anybody.
I want to know why you got in real estate, because I know there's a really
Yeah.
story of resilience in that.
Yeah, so it's no secret that I'm married to a radio personality in town, and in radio, it is very common to be an alcoholic. So my husband was a raging alcoholic, and I got into real estate so I could leave him.
Right.
So
And still together?
we are, yes, and had another child since his sobriety, which really, as I got my real estate license, I was still working in property management, and I was making like 50, 60,000, and we had 3 kids, and he was the breadwinner. So I just said, hey, listen, Erica, you've got to pull yourself together because you've got to support these 3 kids, because he's going to be dead, wrapped around a pole or in prison because he killed somebody else. And so I just couldn't let that happen to me and the kids. So
Right.
I got my real estate license, and I failed the test a few times, but that's okay.
Well, honestly, I think a lot of the best realtors do fail the test a couple of times.
I was working full time. I was raising 3 kids with an alcoholic husband who really wasn't present, and it was hard. And
Right.
so finally, when I sat down and went through the review book, then I went and sat for my test, and I passed it. So I made $100,000, and I was like, well, that'll be enough, right?
Right.
Well, then you start paying bills for 3 kids, and it's like, that's not enough. And so I made $150,000, and I was like, that'll be enough. Well, no. So then I made over 2, and so on and so on, and it became enough. And
Right.
so there was an impasse where I said, we're done. We're done. And he was like, oh, I think you're upset. I'll count bottle tops. I'll do this. No, we're done. And I remember I had left for dance competition with number 2.
Okay.
And I didn't call him, and he finally called on Sunday, and he said, I think you're upset with me. I said, I'm not upset. I'm done.
Right.
So I'm telling you, when I get home, you are moving out, or me and the children are moving out. I don't care.
Yeah, I've spent this last couple of years preparing for this.
Yeah. And I don't need you anymore.
And you're still together.
Yes.
And
He is sober.
He's
He
sober.
is 100% sober.
and present.
Oh, very present. And so we started some therapy, and organically we fell into a trauma-based therapist that was Christian-based, which was really helpful for us. And it's been great.
Things were not good at home.
No.
You were working with 3 kids, doing
Yes.
most of it, not making enough money to be independent, and you found a career that you could get to the point where you could be independent.
With 3 kids trapped in the back car.
Absolutely.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
All the time.
And your husband decided, I better get with the program.
He did.
He got with the program. You adopted a son,
We did.
and you're telling the world that you can have 4 kids, 1 adopted with some issues,
Correct.
to be fair.
Yep.
Both parents work,
Yes.
and all the things that you have with teenagers and a newborn and everything through, and you can still work out and lose 50 pounds and get healthy.
Yes, and have mental health too, because I think that is so important. So just finding some time for me to be alone, or be in the Word, or just peace, right? It's just having that work-life balance. And today I was in the office and I said, listen, spring break is next week. We didn't have any plans. I'm booking this Airbnb up in Alabama on the Gulf Coast. And I said, hey, if I need to jump on a Zoom for that, Zillow, I can do that. And my director of ops said, she came in, she said, she won't be jumping on that Zoom. I'll take it for her.
Wow.
And
So
I
you're
thought,
surrounding yourself with
I
people
am.
that protect your balance.
I am. And I thought, gosh, you are so amazing. And she said, you're going to go disconnect. It's only 4 days and you're going to go focus on those kids. That's what you're asking for. That's what you need. And that's what you want. And I said, huh, she can handle it.
Right.
I don't have to be there. It's Zillow.
Right.
We do Zillow every day.
And honestly, we could sidebar all day about you've empowered her. You're letting her give back.
Yeah.
It's so many dynamics are happening there by
Yeah.
you saying yes. You're allowing someone else to take control.
Yeah, I think it's growth.
Mhm.
I think we're all in a season of growing, because if you're not, you're just dead.
Yeah, or going backwards.
And who wants to do that?
Right.
I don't. So I think it's just growth and empowerment, and then surrounding yourself with people that help lift you up instead of help bring you down. And there's both of those in the world. And then there's people that are like wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
That you go to listen to like calls to help coach them, and they're actually talking about things they definitely shouldn't be talking about.
Right.
And you're like, oh, that's how you feel about me.
Exactly.
So it's important that you surround yourself with people that want to empower you and want to support you and genuinely mean that, instead of...
But it's also important that you pay attention to the people that are around you that you think support you.
Correct.
To make sure they really do.
Correct.
And
100%.
that's where you discover. But it's interesting that we just segued right to people, because one of the things I believe in most is people and profit.
Yes.
And I wanted to stop a minute and talk about profit.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk to you specifically about the difference between the top line revenue and what you keep.
When we look at top line versus bottom line, it doesn't matter how much this is. It matters what this is. But let's talk about the 6,000 agents running around here. How many of them do you think actually know their profit?
I bet that they don't. And how
Uh-huh.
many of them know how to run a business?
Even less.
Exactly.
Now, I don't want to be offensive to everybody,
No.
because there are people out there that have had coaching or came from a business degree or whatever that know how to do that. But me personally, I didn't know. And nobody taught me. I got my real estate license, and then all of a sudden opened a business and employed people,
Right.
and just thought I knew it.
You do not.
You don't need to prove anything to anybody.
No.
I've read on a couple things that wealth is actually measured with people, like with money in their bank account, and
Right.
not with toys and glamour and all of this. But it took a while for me to get there. Like, I just was on a crusade to prove to everybody that I could do this.
I think that if we want to prove, we just need to prove by the money that we keep,
Yeah.
not the money that we spend.
Yeah.
And I'll also say this, part of the reason why real estate is not a sustainable career is because the glamorization of the top dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And if and when real estate professionals learn how to keep more money,
Sure.
when the times get bad and difficult, they'll be able to stay in the industry. We could talk for a really, really long time.
I could.
But the truth of the matter is resilience, honesty, family, health, people, and profit. For me, it just all goes together.
Yeah.
So what's next for you and the Diaz family that you maybe want to summarize for us?
Well, I think the next season for me is, I guess, maturity, which it just took a while to get there. And that looks different for everybody, but it's kind of slowing down. It's kind of, we're not coming out of business, but we are empowering the people around us to do their jobs. Spending more time with the kids as they get a little bit older. Obviously, we're going to sell the house, and just take it a little bit slower.
Right.
Because through 2020, 2021, we couldn't catch our breath. 2022, 2023, now into 2024, rates are all over the place. You couldn't catch breath for a different reason.
Right.
So we have honed in on what we need to do to make X and what we should spend to keep Y.
Right.
And it feels simpler.
Good.
It doesn't feel as chaotic in my little ADHD brain.
Mm-hmm.
It feels controllable and manageable, and it feels exitable,
I love that.
which I don't think a lot of people know how to exit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to die doing this.
Right. You love doing this, but you don't want to die doing it.
No, and I mean literally fall over while I'm showing a house.
Exactly.
I don't want
you
to
want
do that.
you want to give back.
Yeah, I do. I want to live on mission. And so you can build a model that's sustainable well past your years of working if you have the right guidance.
And it can give you back. It can give back while you're not working.
100%.
Yeah.
But you have to have the right guidance. And I think that's where I just had to learn that I couldn't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to leverage help at home. I had to leverage money for coaching. I had to leverage different things to get to this where I feel like even with calendar glitches and schedules being mixed up, I can still be present and calm and not be so chaotic. And I feel like real estate can be very chaotic.
I love that. And I'm going to close with this. Erica Diaz is going to be present with the people and measure the profit and watch out 2024. And if anybody wants to know where to find Erica, where to find me, Susan West with Fidelity National Title, take a look on the screen now and you'll have several options. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.